Today we're making a mini vase, and it's going to be themed after Medusa. I knew I wanted to make a project surrounding Medusa, mostly because she's really interesting conceptually, but I couldn't decide on what I should make for the vessel. I started out thinking about making a goblet or chalice, but I don't have any experience making anything like that, and I knew I'd end up wasting a ton of time and materials trying to assemble the piece. While I was thinking about what I should make, I thought about doing a shield due to that representing how Perseus looked at Medusa before he killed her, or maybe a bowl because it would be neat to eat my cinnamon toast crunch out of a Medusa bowl. But I decided to go with a small Greek-inspired vase. I chose a vase because it's a form of art that I see frequently associated with Greek mythology. A lot of drawings and depictions of gods are displayed on vases, and I thought it would be a fun challenge for myself to make out of glass. I primarily make smaller items like pendants and marbles. While this vase can fit in the palm of your hand, it's a lot bigger than the average item I make. This presented a whole host of challenges, including my measly little arms getting tired a lot during this build, troubles being able to spin consistently, and some other problems. But hopefully this will lead me to invest in some bench rollers, because this project has made me want to make a lot more things like this. Every decision I made with this piece tries to connect itself to Greece in some way. The color I chose for the body of the vase is Blue Caramel by North Star Glass, which has a lot of silver in it. The silver fumes out whenever you put it in the flame and gives a ceramic look to the color, a lot like Greek vases have. This color also has a property where when you remove the top layer of the color with sandblasting or etching, you reveal a layer beneath it that has not been struck out yet, which just means it hasn't been hit by the flame, which ends up leaving a black layer that looks a lot like the art on vases in Greece. Getting into the mythology behind this piece, it's centered around Medusa, and Medusa is a gorgon. In Greek mythology, there's three gorgons: Stheno, Euryale, and Medusa. Medusa was the only one who is not immortal. I'll be talking about two different versions of Medusa's story, one by Hesiod and one by Ovid. Hesiod was a Greek poet, and he wrote his work Theogony around 700 BC, while Ovid was a Roman poet, and he wrote his work around 880. It's about 700 years apart, but both stories are really similar, but with some key differences. In Hesiod's story, Medusa was born a monster we all know and love her to be, but in Ovid, she was born a beautiful woman. In Book 4 of Ovid's Metamorphosis, around line 770, Medusa gets raped by Poseidon in Athena's temple, which Athena ended up punishing Medusa for by turning her into the monster we know as Medusa. Modern interpretations of these events suggest that Athena did this because she was jealous of Medusa's beauty, but the text does not point to this at all. As a ploy to kill Perseus, King Polydectes challenges Perseus to try to kill Medusa and bring back Medusa's head. Perseus was given a number of items in order to help him on this journey and went on his way. Around line 782 of Ovid's, after making his way through the Gorgon's lair, we see Perseus use the reflection of his shield given to him by Athena to find Medusa asleep without looking at her. Unfortunately here, I broke the piece, but we put it back together. It all works out in the end. While she's asleep, he beheads her and puts an end to her life. Now that we know the history, let's delve into what this means today. Medusa has put herself as a member of the feminist movement due to her history and mythology. One of the ways that Medusa has entered into the modern-day feminist movement is as an icon of victim blaming. In Ovid's story of Medusa, Medusa was a victim of victim blaming through Athena. This has led to a modern connection between people who were victims of victim blaming and Medusa through tattoos of Medusa that many people who are victims of victim blaming get. The facet we can look at Medusa through is psychology. Freud suggests that Medusa is a symbol of castration anxiety. This is a fear for men of losing their masculinity, which starts by noticing that women do not have the male genitalia and turns into a fear of losing theirs. Freud suggests that men turning to stone from looking at her symbolizes this because looking at women freezes men with castration anxiety. This can be found in his paper Medusa's Head. The Jungian point of view of Medusa's gaze represents a male's unintegrated femininity. This is because males, for a variety of reasons, are generally not in touch with their feminine side and thus do not know how to control/understand their emotions. When they finally are forced to come to terms with their emotions, it causes anxiety and discomfort, which is parallel to the freezing. Lastly, we have what I engraved into the piece. We have Medusa holding Perseus' head, which is Luciano Sgarbati's work, Medusa holding Perseus' head. It's a statue that was erected in order to show the female strength. We have Perseus holding Medusa's head, which is how she died. And then we have Athena's temple, which is where she actually turned into Medusa, according to Ovid. Thank you for checking out my piece. Have a great day. Thank you.